Same job, same paycheck, same direct deposit hitting your account every 2 weeks, but somehow everything costs more. The groceries that used to be $150 are now $210. The gas tank that cost $40 now costs $55. Your rent went up $200 and nobody asked your permission. You did not get a pay cut, but you are living one. There is a reason your money buys less every single month, and it has nothing to do with how hard you work or how carefully you budget. The system is quietly making you poorer, and most people never notice until it is too late. Inflation. You hear that word on the news constantly, but nobody explains what it actually means for your life. Here is what inflation really is. Every year, the prices of things you buy go up, not because the products got better, not because the quality improved, just because. $1 today buys less than $1 last year, and $1 last year bought less than the year before that. Think of it this way. 3 years ago, your $100 grocery run fed you for a week. Today, that same $100 gets you maybe 5 days of food. You did not eat more. The food just costs more. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, grocery prices rose over 25% between 2020 and 2024. That is not a small bump. That is a quarter of your food budget gone. And groceries are just one category. Car insurance went up 20%. Rent increased by an average of 18% nationally. Even your electricity bill climbed. Every single bill on your kitchen counter got more expensive. But here is the part that hurts the most. Your paycheck probably did not keep up. The average raise in America over that same period was about 4% per year, but inflation was running at 5% to 8%. That means your raise was not a raise at all. It was a smaller loss. Here is how this actually works inside your wallet. Every dollar you have is losing value while it sits there. Not because someone stole it, because the cost of everything around it went up. Imagine you have $1,000 in your checking account right now. If inflation runs at 5% this year, that $1,000 does not turn into $950. The number still says $1,000, but what you can buy with it drops. That $1,000 now has the buying power of about $950. You lost $50 in real value without spending anything. Now multiply that across your entire life. Your savings account, your emergency fund, every dollar sitting still is shrinking. And the longer it sits, the more it loses. A Federal Reserve study found that $1,000 from the year 2000 would need to be $1,820 today just to have the same purchasing power. That means if you had $1,000 saved in 2000 and never touched it, it is now worth about $550 in real terms. Almost half. Gone. Not from bad investments, not from overspending, just from inflation doing what inflation does. And here is what makes it worse. Your bank is paying you maybe 0.1% interest on that checking account. Some savings accounts pay 0.5%. Meanwhile, inflation is running at 3% to 5%. You are literally losing money by saving it in the wrong place. The bank is using your money to make loans at 7% interest. They keep the profit, you keep the loss. That is not an accident. That is the design. Now let us do the real math, because this is where it gets painful. Say you earn $70,000 a year. That is about $5,833 a month before taxes. After taxes, health insurance, and deductions, you are probably taking home around $4,400 a month. Now here is your monthly reality. Rent or mortgage, $1,500. Car payment and insurance, $650. Groceries, $600. Utilities and phone, $350. Gas and transportation, $250. That is $3,350 in fixed costs. You have $1,050 left for everything else. Clothes, household supplies, a doctor visit, maybe trying to save something. Now here is what inflation did to those numbers over 3 years. Your rent went from $1,500 to $1,770. Your groceries went from $600 to $750. Your car insurance jumped from $200 to $240. Your utilities crept from $350 to $390. Those increases alone add up to $700 more per month. But your paycheck? If you got a 2% raise each year for 3 years, your take-home went from $4,400 to about $4,670. That is $270 more per month. Inflation took $700. Your raise gave back $270. The gap is $430 every single month that you are falling behind. Over 12 months, that is $5,160 per year in lost purchasing power. Over 3 years, $10,500 gone. You did not buy anything new. You did not move to a nicer apartment. You did not upgrade your car. You just lived. And the cost of living outran your paycheck by $10,500. That is the number nobody tells you. That is the pay cut hiding inside your same salary. And if you have been feeling like something is wrong, like you are doing everything right but still falling behind, this is why. You are not bad with money. Your money is worth less than it was yesterday. So if you are losing money, where is it going? Somebody is winning, and it is not you. When prices go up, corporations report record profits. In 2023, corporate profits in America hit an all-time high. Grocery chains raised prices and blamed supply chain issues. Oil companies raised gas prices and blamed global conflict. Landlords raised rent and blamed demand. But their profit margins told a different story. Some companies made more money than ever before during the exact period your groceries became unaffordable. A study from the Economic Policy Institute found that corporate profit margins were responsible for over 50% of price increases between 2020 and 2023. Half. Not supply chain problems, not worker wages, corporate profit. Meanwhile, the federal minimum wage has been $7.25 since 2009. 15 years, no change. If minimum wage had kept pace with inflation since 1968, it would be over $24 an hour today. Think about that. The prices of everything you buy adjust for inflation automatically. Your landlord raises rent every year. The grocery store updates prices every quarter. Your insurance company recalculates every 6 months. But your paycheck? That only changes if you ask or if you fight for it. The system adjusts prices up automatically, but it does not adjust your income up automatically. That gap is the design. Inflation is not something that happens to the economy. It is something that happens to you, specifically, while someone else collects the difference. Now, the biggest objection. People will say, just earn more, get a better job, work harder, and that sounds logical. But here is the problem. If your income goes up 10% and inflation takes 5%, you only gained 5%. You are running on a treadmill, working harder just to stay in place. Earning more is not the full answer. The answer is making sure your money does not sit still. So here is what you can actually do. Starting this week, step 1, move your savings out of a regular savings account. A traditional savings account pays 0.1% to 0.5% interest. A high-yield savings account pays 4% to 5% right now. If you have $5,000 sitting in savings, that is the difference between earning 50 cents a year and earning $250 a year. Same money, different account. That is step 1. Step 2, ask for a raise that matches inflation. Not a performance raise, an inflation raise. Go to your manager with the actual numbers. Show them the consumer price index went up 3.4% last year. Tell them your rent increased. Your groceries increased. A raise below 3.4% is a pay cut in disguise. Bring the data. Step 3, put at least $50 a month into a broad market index fund. Historically, the stock market returns about 10% per year on average. That beats inflation. Your money grows faster than prices rise. That is how you stop falling behind. You do not need to become a financial expert. You need to stop letting your money sit in places where it loses value every single day. Two people, both earning $70,000 a year, both living in the same city, same rent, same bills, same starting point. Person A does what most people do. Keeps her savings in a regular checking account, gets a 2% raise each year, never negotiates, never invests. She works hard. She is careful with her money, but she leaves it sitting in accounts that pay almost nothing. After 5 years, person A has about $8,000 in savings. But adjusted for inflation, that $8,000 has the buying power of roughly $6,400. She saved for 5 years and lost $1,600 in real value. Person B learns what you just learned today. She moves $5,000 into a high-yield savings account earning 4.5%. She negotiates an inflation-matched raise and gets 4% each year instead of 2%. And she puts $100 a month into a broad index fund returning about 10% annually. After 5 years, person B's savings account earned over $1,200 in interest instead of $25. Her salary grew to about $85,000 instead of $77,000. That is $8,000 more per year. And her $100 a month in investments grew to over $7,700. Person B has roughly $24,000 more in real wealth than person A. Same starting paycheck, same city, same bills. The only difference is that person B understood what inflation was doing to her money, and she made 3 simple moves. 3. That is all it took to change the entire trajectory. Inflation is not going to stop. It never has, it never will. But you are not the same person you were 10 minutes ago. You know now. You know your money loses value every day it sits still. You know a 2% raise is not a raise when prices climb 5%. You know who profits when you do not pay attention. This is not your fault. Nobody taught you this, but starting today, you know. And knowing changes everything. Subscribe to She Starts Today, because the system will not teach you, but we will.